we've got the corn, guys. I'm gonna grab my lemonade.
That's our last stop before we head back home.
I have purchased the lemonade in the front. Thank you. All right.
Alright, y'all lemonade and water at the end.
Yeah, I got my lemonade. I'll grab the water. I'll grab the water. I also need a water. Oh. All right. Here you go.
Hi, Dasani.
Dasani? Okay, hold on. Almost grabbed the wrong water I purchased for. Oops. All right. Here, Mom. All right. Ooh.
Where's the garbage?
If they have garbage in the
Pre-made, microwaved, and all. Not gonna be as good. But hold on. Oh, it's hot. Mmm. Yep. Still tastes the same.
Just make sure you finish those snacks before you get on the video.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Sorry. Yeah. Wish I knew that. Nope. Tastes the same. Just a little watered down. Nothing's gonna stop this corn. All right. Review 10 out of 10. Well, it's not as good, but our prediction was right. It tastes the same, just watered down. Still a 10 out of 10.
Switch now. Once we get moving, it'll be far too bumpy to switch.
You guys left to see better?
No, you're not allowed to.
On the right hand side, please let your hands, arms, feet light. The doors will be closing on your right hand side. Thank you. Alright, friends, as we say here in Harambe, 20, which means let's go. Jumbo, everyone, my name is Mara. I'll be your safari guide to the Harambe Wildlife Preserve. A few quick reminders. Make sure that you hold on to your loose items, cell phones, hats, ears, sunglasses, anything of the sort. We don't want anything falling out. We also don't want you falling out, so please stay seated. Keep your hands, arms, feet, legs inside the vehicle at all times. And because we have been asked before, this is a real truck. I am really driving it. There is no track. I am not animatronic, and neither are the animals. We have been asked. I mean, maybe the animals, but like me? That was a little daunting. Oh, you're a person. Walked right up to the window. Yes. So we want to make sure that our journey travels safely. So make sure that we're not raising our voice, yelling, calling out. Your driver would enjoy that, but mostly the animals would enjoy that. We want to make sure that they feel comfortable in their own home to home, because this is what it is. It's their home here. And if they feel comfortable, they'll act naturally. If they act naturally, we'll get to see them better. And with that, we're getting our journey started off with a little Aturi forest. The animals here use their coloring and their markings to blend themselves into the background. And I do see an okapi. So on the right-hand side, if you keep looking, once we round the bush here, you're going to be able to see the okapi. Many people think okapi are related to zebras because the markings on their rear ends and on their legs look so similar, but actually they're related to giraffes. We know that by their skeletal structure. They also have the same prehensile tongue that giraffes do, so they can reach up into bushes and trees and grab hold of leaves for themselves. So they're categorized as browsers, as opposed to animals that generally eat off the ground, which are grazers. We're going to keep traveling on. We do have a nest on the right-hand side, right up on these bushes. That was indeed built by the saddle-billed storks. We have two of them wandering around here somewhere. Maybe we'll spot them, but if all else fails, you see their efforts for the new family they intend. Left-hand side, we have the black rhinoceros, though. Black rhinoceros is going to be 3,000 pounds when fully grown. They generally spend their daytime hours resting and relaxing, staying out of the sun. They have really sensitive skin, so they're the most active in the evening hours. That's when they come out for socializing and mating. And they have a prehensile upper lip. So their upper lip is pointed and can actually grab hold of leaves. So they are considered browsers because they will grab hold of leaves out of bushes for themselves. Like the okapi, except the okapi is a prehensile tongue, not the upper lip. Right-hand side, these beautiful beige ladies are the greater kudu. Greater kudu are some of the taller of the forest antelope, 55 inches just at the shoulder. And I can tell they're indeed ladies because male greater kudu carry horns. They're also solitary. Females are willing to spend time together in groups of 3 to 10. Right-hand side again, this beautiful, oh God, they're so pretty. This bongo here, beautiful bongo. There's also going to be a greater kudu and a couple more bongos to the left-hand side. Bongos are known as the ghosts of the forest. They generally only come out in the early morning and late evening. And they use those incredible horns of theirs to make their way safely through really thick underbrush in the dark, so they rarely have to cross the wide open spaces. So again, rarely seen. Ghosts of the forest. And I love how the coloring around their eyes, that white coloring sort of looks like a mask. Gorgeous animals. With that, we are out of the forest and onto the river, the Safi River. Here, we're going to want to look for animals that spend most of their time in and around water. Oh, all these gray and white birds are actually called pink-backed pelicans. They get their name pink-backed pelicans from the pink color their skin turns during mating season. And they're colonial nesters. That means that in the wild, you'd be able to find 20, upwards of 500 pink-backed pelican nests all in the same area. They're not territorial. They'll actually make a colony. Back in the forest, the storks, they are very territorial. They don't want anybody near that nest, not even other storks. Oh, left-hand side, a bloat. When you see a group of hippopotamus, it's called a bloat of hippopotamus. So hippopotamus is going to be 5,500 pounds when fully grown. The babies are born at about 85 pounds. They spend most of their daytime hours resting and relaxing in water. They can actually stay submerged for 8 minutes at a time. They'll fold their ears and plug up their nostrils, and even the babies know to do that instinctively. Babies will fold their ears and plug up their nostrils and nurse underwater. One's on land right now, completely out of the water on the left-hand side, hippopotamus, or at least his butt. We'll see if we can see his face. I guess there's something yummy in the corner. So even though they have those great big incisor teeth, those are actually for self-defense. They are known to come out of the water and walk for miles grazing on grass. They're grazers. They'll generally do that during the evening hours, though. They do like staying out in the sun, so most of their grazing does occur at night, but again, it's really shady where he was standing, so it makes sense. Left-hand side, Nile crocodile. The Nile crocodile is going to be 500 pounds, 16 feet on average. They eat about once a week, but they're known to go for months at a time without eating at all if the food source is scarce. If you ever see a crocodile with their mouth wide open, but they don't seem to be doing anything, they're expelling excess heat, cooling themselves off. They have incredibly strong jaws. Both the male and the female Nile crocodile are really gentle with their offspring. Both the male and the female will actually take their eggs into their mouth and roll them gently to help them hatch. And with that, friends, we are out of the river. By the looks of the baobab tree coming up, we're on the savannah. So, soon to be on the right, there's a tree that some people in Africa thought looked a little funny. They thought the roots were on top, so they nicknamed it the upside-down tree. But actually, to your right, this is the baobab tree. The baobab tree goes leafless for 9 months out of the year. In that time, it conserves water, storing the water in its trunk. Animals can actually get to the water by digging out near the roots. And because animals can get to life-saving water, the baobab tree is also known as the tree of life. And you may have seen another tree of life on your trip to Africa today, except that one had all of its leaves and a lot of intricate, beautiful animal carvings. Friends, so in the forest, the animals are all about camouflage to make their way through their day, but out here in the savannah, there's not always a lot of places to hide besides the occasional tall grass. So out here, it's all about speed, agility. They have hooves, maybe even a swift kick, so those are the animals we're going to be keeping a watch for. And the lifestyles they lead. I can already see some Ankoli cattle, those long-horned animals off in the distance, so we're going to keep following the caravan. see what luck we have. Oh, there's another one closer up here on the right-hand side. These are Ankole cattle, also known as Watusi, named after the people that domesticated them. And even though those horns look incredibly heavy and can be 6 to 8 feet in length, they're actually honeycombed inside. They flow blood through those horns, and in doing so, the blood cools off, flows back through the body, cooling down the rest of the animal. It's their cooling mechanism, so it's actually really vital, those horns. Making our way around, following the caravan. As you can see in front of us to the left, that really tall tower, and then these funny ones here on the right as well. These are actually termite mounds. Termites make them out of dung, saliva, and mud. They're porous inside, but they actually bake in the sun and they become as hard as concrete. When that happens, animals like the elephant will actually use them as scratching posts. They use them so vigorously, they wear them down. That's why they're different sizes throughout the savannah. Once they're worn down, animals like the antelope can actually hop on top and look for rustling in tall grass, which is generally a sign of predators. So one animal's home is another animal's scratching post, is another animal's watchtower. Getting to pass by a little closer to the Ankole cattle here. And many people think in Africa, having Ankole cattle is a sign of great prestige. You must be doing quite well for yourself if you're able to have one to see. Go poly-poly, which means very slowly, following along. From the distance there, you can see we're about to get closer to some wildebeests. Yep, we're indeed going to be able to see some wildebeests soon. They're actually crossing the road right here, so directly in front of us, soon to be on our right-hand side. Truck in front of us had to wait for our wildebeest friends to get fully across the road there. Wildebeest are a migrating animal. They migrate 1,000 miles every year. They follow the fresh rain, which leads to fresh grass, and as you can see, they're grazers, so they're going to need a lot of fresh grass. They're also not territorial, so wildebeest are willing to travel alongside of other animals like Hartman Mountain zebra, for example, except the zebras only travel about 300 miles. That's their migration. As I said, the wildebeest will travel 1,000 miles, so they will part ways, but for a little while, they're travel buddies. There you go on the right-hand side. They're also interesting, and then they sleep in rows at night. So if a predator were to approach them in the middle of the night, they can take off running in an instant without bumping into each other. So quite thoughtful for their own safety right before they go to bed. And if you can see near their throats, kind of on their neck, front half of their bodies, if it looks like they have stripes from their back to their stomach, that is actually not striping. Some people do think that they are striped animals. They are not. It's just really hot in Africa, so that is sweat. They're just sweaty. No judgment. But at least it's getting cool out for them now, so they should be quite comfortable. Left-hand side, we have the antelope here, the Patterson elands, as well as giraffes. When you see a group of giraffes, it's called a tower of giraffes if they're standing. If they are on the move, it's called a journey of giraffe. They are the tallest of the land animal. They are 20 feet tall. Even the babies are born very tall. The babies are born 6 feet and 150 pounds. 6 feet is how far they fall to the ground because a giraffe will give birth standing up. And if you can see the Patterson eland there, those beautiful beige antelope, they're some of the bigger ones you'll find on the savannah. Both the male and the female Patterson eland have those beautiful twirled horns. By twirled, I mean sort of like a soft serve cone going from the skull up. And as I said, both the male and the female have those twirled horns. And when the male Patterson eland is ready to have a mate, he'll run through the forest, gathering up as many leaves and flowers in the horns as possible to create a floral crown. When he finds himself presentable, he presents himself to the female. If she loves his crown, she will accept him as her mate. If she thinks he can do better, she'll use her horns to remove the crown and have him start over. So respect yourself like a Patterson Elin, ladies. Gonna make our way up the hill between two more beautiful baobab trees. And make our way down slowly. Just around this river bend, our next animal friend is going to be the greater flamingo. If you see a gray one or two, don't worry, they're healthy and well. They're also greater flamingo, they're just younger than everyone else. A flamingo actually starts off gray with a straight beak. Oh, there's a couple gray ones here. They actually start off gray with a straight beak. Their beak takes about a month to curve, but they take almost 2 whole years to turn pink. The pink color comes from beta-carotene. Beta-carotene is inside of shrimp, and shrimp is their main diet. So as they eat their main diet source, they start turning pink. It starts in their legs and works its way up to their feathers, but like I said, it takes almost 2 whole years for that to happen. So if you ever see a gray flamingo, don't worry. You'll know they're healthy and well. They're just younger than everyone else. Oh, and when you see a group of them, you've seen a flamboyance of flamingo. To our left here, it doesn't look like much, but to animals with sensitive skin like the rhinoceros or the elephant, mud wallows are really great finds. Not only does it cool them down in the moment, a thick coating of mud is actually a really great natural sunblock, as well as an insect repellent. Insects have trouble getting through the thick coating, so it's actually a relief from the pests on the savannah. Plus, don't act like some of you haven't paid a stranger to cover you in mud. Spa days are definitely a thing. Trucking on over. Left-hand side, the cheetah. I'm lined up with her right now. So look at kind of like the little hay pile.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, so cheetahs are the fastest of the land animal. They can go 60 miles per hour in just 3 seconds. And when they run at that speed, they'll actually put their muscular tail out low. It'll act sort of like the way a rudder acts on a boat. It'll help them change direction and also help keep their balance.
They blended in.
Their bodies are built for speed and agility. So their spine actually aligns in such a way that they can cover 30 feet per stride when they run. And they're unique for a large cat. Most large cats hunt at night. Cheetahs actually hunt during the day. They're daytime hunters, and that gorgeous face of theirs, that distinctively cheetah face, the black line that goes from their tear duct down their cheek to their mouth, actually reflects sunlight, helping them be great daytime hunters that much more. So we're going to make our way around the Kopi, these stone islands to the left-hand side that jet out from the savannah. They're called Kopis. If you've ever seen The Lion King, Pride Rock is a Kopi. Make our way around to the right-hand side, water bucks. We're going to make our way around, see if we can get another look at them. Water bucks are known for their fluffy fur and their heart-shaped noses. I can tell that these are indeed beautiful ladies because they don't have horns. Male water bucks carry horns. They're called water bucks because they drink an unusual amount of water for an antelope, and also they are sedentary. They will find a permanent water source and live next to that for the entirety of their lives. Alright, friends. Making our way around the warthog burrows. Warthogs are the largest burrowing animal. They're related to the domestic pig. They'll dig these holes out here on the left and actually back into them. They're really territorial, so when they back in, they know their tusks are facing out. So if anybody should bother them, they can charge first, 35 miles per hour. Nice cool breeze. Make our way around. Then on the right-hand side coming up, I'm lined up right now, we have the ostrich egg nest. So ostriches are the largest of eggs on the ground on the right-hand side. Largest of birds, largest of eggs. Each ostrich egg weighs 3 pounds apiece. That's the equivalent of 2 dozen chicken eggs for every 1 ostrich egg. It is a communal nest. The alpha hen lays her egg first, then the other hens lay their egg around the alphas. As the alpha, she gets the very best spot. The middle is considered the best spot, likely because the center is considered safest and warmest. But once all the eggs are laid, the alpha male and the alpha female tends the eggs, so it's really not a bad deal. Alright friends, this is the warden's post. That means we're on the edge of the village. We're on our way back home to Harambe. I hope you enjoyed the animals that we've seen here on our journey as we head back towards the village. The warden tending to the yard. But now is a wonderful time to talk about why we have these reserves, these protected lands. And I know conservation might seem like a daunting task, but we talked about the animals in the forest. Their given gift is camouflage. They need something to camouflage into. So if we recycle our paper products, we can make sure we're fighting deforestation, keep the forest as lush as possible for them so they have somewhere to thrive. Animals like the hippopotamus or the Nile crocodile, they need their clean and clear waterways. So if we recycle our plastics, we can make sure that we're keeping the waterways as healthy as possible and decluttered as possible for them. And animals like the elephant. Their homes are encroached on because humans mine for coltan. Coltan is a mineral ore. It's in your cell phone, your iPad, your laptop. So if you're recycling small electronics, you don't have to mine so much to keep up with technology. So even though it seems like a really daunting task, don't ever think that your actions aren't enough. Don't ever think that recycling, which is just a small chore realistically, isn't going to be enough. Endangered doesn't need to mean extinct, and we have a say in that. Recycling will absolutely play a huge part in whether or not these animals continue to go on. Alright, friends. Alright, we'll see which dog gets a scooching first. And we are... yeah, that one's going to be getting to moving first. So we'll go on over here. Make sure that you gather up all your loose items. Even if you thought something was already in your pocket or your handbag, the bumps do knock things out of pockets and handbags. So make sure you have all your things gathered up. And when we get back, we're not going to say goodbye. That's really permanent. We hope you had a great time. You want to come back, see us again, see the animals again and what they're up to during different times of the day. So we're going to use a term that we use here in Harambe. It's qua harini. It means to go well, because it's not a permanent goodbye. It's just a go well for now. We hope to see you again real soon. All right, friends. On the right-hand side, please watch your hands, arms, feet, and legs. The doors are opening on your right-hand side. Watch your step. Thank you so much for riding with me, friends. My name is Mara.